Oh yeah, we got mute ourselves. I forgot about that.
All right, we're live. I think
We're
yeah,
live?
we're live. Yes.
Live.
All right. Welcome, everybody. No more Radiant ramblings here. Welcome to Bronze Babble, episode 4, hosted by yours truly, Valencia. Why am I hosting? I'm not too sure. But with me, I've got 3 better people who are qualified to talk about these games than me. I think. We've got Teklo. We've got Teklo, Linus, and Ethan because, of course, being the offshoot of Plat Chat, we obviously have to have our token late person, and that's Ethan this time. But instead, we've got Caleb instead here. Welcome on in, guys.
Thank you.
Hello,
So,
hello.
I know I'm surprised that we're doing 2 weeks in a row, maybe even more. But I mean, hey, with another week, we got another week of games to talk about this week, and some other fun stuff. We're gonna try an offshoot power rankings of all the teams because, hey, why not rage bait for content? Why not? But I mean, yeah, pretty much that's what you're going to be going over with that, and predictions, of course, for the next week of games. We've got a few coming up, so that'll be fun in games. These guys, again, like I said, they're more qualified than me to talk about this stuff, so hell, let's go down with that. Oh yeah, and then apparently we're sponsored by Pi or something and Bood, whatever that means. I don't know. I assume somebody here knows more about that than I do, but apparently we're sponsored, so
Not me.
thanks, I guess.
I'm pretty sure Pi spent the same amount Wyatt got bribed for his award.
Which one?
Oh, Spy bought Pack. Oh.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? Fair
Okay,
enough
okay.
then. So then, thanks for that, I guess. Okay, got it. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
H is also here producing as well, but apparently not not audible on stream. But again, we will.
He doesn't want you guys to hear him.
Which is crazy because I was going to ask him about you know, his own series, but you know what's fine. He doesn't need to talk about it. Probably doesn't want to anyway. So let's get started at least getting into like the games from last week and really go on about those. And obviously the first one we're talking about, if we're going chronologically, Koi against ZIRC. My team against again, Ethan would be here, but you know, instead we've got budget Ethan who wasn't even on the team, but at least with Ethan not being here, I can flame him.
Yeah,
wanna
I
know about
casted that game.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective at least, and what we've kind of just went over, I mean, we kind of just rolled them over pretty much. That's really the best way to put it. A lot of people were really scared of their Haven, and we made it look lethal for once. And the bind, we kind of made it shaky, but we still came out with it. So that's really the best way to put about it. So
I don't know, like, I feel like ZIRC's attack side is like all right, but it's just like, I don't know, the way they hold their defense is like so weird sometimes. Like, I don't know if you, I mean, I'm assuming Valencia watched the VOD back on Bind. Like the amount of times they set up like B long or just like sent like 4 people on one side of the map to just do a push out and like, and you guys never hit B like once, I don't think, on Bind.
because that
Like-
was part of the ante. I'll admit that part. That was part of the ante. That was one of the things
Yeah.
we figured out with binds, so we just kept hitting A pretty much. And the few times where he went B was just Lucas and I trolling. So, but yeah, no, it was just pure ante.
Yeah, they never got the read.
Yeah, which is really shocking that they didn't really ever get that read eventually. They just kept sticking to like, oh yeah, eventually we're just gonna hit B. Not really. I mean, we did a few times. A few times again, Lucas and I inted, but a few times we actually did. But otherwise, no need.
Yeah.
I think like this game like validated why I predicted Koi to win this game, because like you guys exposed a lot of the problems that I was talking about, that like if you put them in a duel and they're not used to like the situation they're in, they're gonna lose the round really quickly, because like they're great at being organized and swing all at the same time, but if you get them out of place, you can beat them so easily. I still think that. We'll talk about DRG later. I think they kind of threw, but like I think you guys exposed, especially with your ante, like how you can beat ZIRC pretty easily. And it was a pretty poor showing overall from them, but
I would
That's
imagine
my
that everything
opinion.
that you and I think what you and Knight kind of talked about last week on last episode was also kind of indicative of that because again, Knight was kind of the brains of it all, really figuring out all the ante with that, even as admitted in the interview as well. That we kind of just had all the reads from what to really, especially the Haven. I mean, there's parts that we can take away from DRG and ZIRC later on with how there was a bounce back or what we can really try to gauge from that, even self-admitted or not admitted. But no, it was just we really wanted to make them look lethal. We did. We just caused a lot of confusion. Surprisingly, I had value from what I was told. My lurks were just they were so scared of me, even when I wasn't doing anything. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Instill fear in these hoes. So
Yeah.
Did you watch the game, Linus?
No, this was the one game I didn't watch.
wow, that's crazy. You didn't watch my game. I'm offended.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like this is overall though. I think this is a good sign. Like just talking about Koi overall, because I know you guys don't like the self glaze,
Yeah.
Dude.
but like I think this was overall a good showing that once you have like feed on people, like you mentioned, like you can just get on them and know what they're going to do, which I think like I'll talk about it like we anteed against a wing a little bit, and I think some teams just aren't utilizing that we have VODs right now, and like hearing that you guys are utilizing them makes me think like you guys have a contention to get into that play-in.
Yeah, I think it's all between that stuff and just having an idea on individual player tendencies too, because I mean, we all play together, we still play 10-mans together and all that stuff. It's like, of course, we're going to know what each other kind of does. That's why some teams are kind of struggling because some people have very obvious gimmicks and some don't, where it's just like, okay, you take every single sum of that together and you kind of just do whatever with that. I guess I could say at least with like the binds, before like just the whole thoughts of it all is that, yeah, like I was kind of alluding to it before. Luke and I were kind of trolling, especially on the defense. We got away with a good amount of rounds and we probably shouldn't have, like the one that was shown with the defuse. That one was
That round
I don't know
was
how they really messed
wild.
up that pit, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
two
that
rounds
one's
that
kinda
you
wild.
guys got that I think if ZIRC got those rounds, it could have easily swung the other way.
Yeah, the other
'Cause,
round
like,
in my
there's-
mind was my clutch, round 23. That one was kind of crazy. Nobody was holding the smoke, and I was at least able to get 2 individual ones. The second one, I say being a bit more clutch because it was literally me just covering my ally, but you know.
Yeah, one of the
That-
other rounds I was
I-
thinking of was I think it was round 3, round 4. Knight, like you guys are retaking B site, and Knight just gets like a very good but also lucky like 3 spray down.
Oh yeah, round 4. Yeah, where he got the spray down on the 3. That was also pretty clutch there too. Yeah, a lot
Bind.
more of the clutches I think happened there. Yeah, because they were some of the few rounds that we had. Because 7-5, if we just kept up our trolling and didn't have our clutches, that would have probably been like a 9-3, arguably. And that would have been mounting more of a comeback, especially towards the end where we still needed to mount at least like 3-4 rounds down like 10-7. Again, if we didn't really have all that stuff, I mean, round 23 would have probably been different. And then, yeah, simply put, everything here just came out kind of clutch. A lot of it making, again, more of us just kind of being shaky and not exactly always following game plan. But I think that does show like some of our lethality to a little bit, or at least just our vulnerability, I suppose. But it's more so just like when we're not completely on with our complete strat, which I mean, I think both Haven and Bind are like very night and day in what they try to do. I'm like, oh, that's us at our best. And that's one where it's like, you know, a little shaky, but you know, like it's still okay. Yeah, no, I think overall we're in a good spot, really. I think, especially with going up against ZIRC, which is one of the more, you know, the prep teams, which a lot of people were kind of saying and that sort of thing. I think that was good for us that we kind of were able to show what we were capable of. And, I mean, hey, convince me, so. And I'm playing on the damn team, so.
Yeah, I think going in, a lot of people were putting ZIRC because I mean, I putted ZIRC. I'll be honest, because I thought ZIRC would play better. I thought they would have more of that anti against you guys, but they just I don't like. I mean, they did show some good stuff, but overall, I just think the anti that they did have prepared, if they did have some, just didn't work as well as they thought it would. Maybe I guess.
And I think just some of their strats also work too. I wish Ethan was here because I want to flame his Cypher status because he did not change it at all in that series. He adapted a bit more in the DRG series, but from what he was doing, at least against us, like, dude, what's going on there, you know? But I mean, beyond that,
Yeah,
it's just
I wish Ethan was here. That way he could talk about this and like maybe defend his team a
Yeah.
little bit as well.
yeah, no,
So.
it would have been nice, but you know, I mean, otherwise I'd just be roasting him. Just, you know, it kind of hurts where it's like, oh, I can't roast the actual person. He just has to vicariously see it later. So you're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, all in all, I mean, the only reason I didn't predict myself, actually, frankly, Knight and I didn't predict our own team to win, but I think it was just down to I don't know what his reasoning was. Partially it was downplay for me, but also I'm not confident in my ability half the time. So that's really the best way to put it. So that's why I'm saying it really helped with that. But so then let's get on to the next one, where we're going from one potential top team going to definitely the number one right now, and another top team as well. The matchup of the week that we had last week, Wing versus EMEA. This is one of the ones I didn't really watch, so you guys will really have to give much. The only detail I've really got is that from this week, and for anybody who doesn't know, EMEA lost one of their players going into this week as well. They lost Alex going into it. And Caleb, you can give a little bit more insight into this later, but at least for this week, for both of their matches, or no, wait, no, because you only played once this week. You guys had James sub in from JDG. So if you want to give at least like some insight into losing Alex, at least with that, like how does that really hurt you guys?
Since I can just defend myself because this will matter more for like the power rankings, Alex was a pretty pivotal player in a lot of games. Like I think in Abyss, he definitely in a few games. Like I can talk about the JD, not the Wood game, and the first game against TS. I think we probably would have lost Abyss if Alex just wasn't there, because there's a lot of rounds where he just won it for us. That be with his util or just killing 3 out of nowhere. I think overall though, like even with James, which is called a super sub, like times, like James wasn't the reason why we won that match. Like James was third on the leaderboard for split on our team and second on the leaderboard for corrode. So like I think it showed that we can play without Alex if we just have a person who is fundamentally good and can play off us. So like that's what we're looking for in a player when we get another player. No spoilers for now. So I think overall we'll be fine. It is going to sting a little bit because his Astra was really good, but I think moving in the future we're still going to be one of the better teams, if not the best.
Which at least is kind of interesting that you're still saying that you guys will be the best. And there's a part of me that wants to believe it, but at the same time, who knows what's really going to happen with, you know, when you go up against some of the other teams.
Yeah.
Like us. But even still, it's interesting to at least see just the perspective on that. And I think the whole James thing was more so just like his, you know, he's a very competent player. A lot of people really like that stuff. He's doing super well on JDG. So it's like, I think that's where it's coming down from, but at least it makes more sense to kind of frame it in that sort of way where it's just, you're just slotting him in, you're just kind of just doing whatever you normally would do, and it kind of just works. That's kind of why it felt like something like that. So I guess like on the topic then with the rest of the series, Wingman,
Yeah.
a lot of people really thought they were number 2 behind EMEA and that sort of thing, but then, you know, the EMEA, you guys show why they bled.
Linus, you were producing the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How were they looking at, like, I rewatched the game, but like in an unbiased perspective, like how was like Wingman looking on like their attack and defense?
They see, I don't know, they seem to not really have a plan, to be honest. Like from external perspective, I don't know. It was they were. I don't have any specific rounds that come to mind, but like it just like every other time I looked at the screen, it was just like a 5-man hit. Or if it wasn't and it was more defaulty, it wasn't like there didn't seem to be a clear idea of like where the spike was supposed to be going. I think they even lost a round to time because Spike was like in mid for forever on, I think it was Split, I believe. But yeah, it was definitely interesting. I definitely don't envy the casters because it seemed even the casters like were kind of a little lost maybe some of the time as to what the plan was on Wing's attack specifically. The defense I didn't think was as bad. I think EMEA was just better with their executes and able to push the crap out of Wing.
I don't want to
Yeah.
jump to the next series much either, but since you produced both of their games this week, Linus, do you feel like at least like this series is kind of indicative for how things ended up shaking up the next day?
As far as Wing goes,
Yes.
yeah, I feel like they played the same way kind of both days, if that's what you're asking. Like I don't
Yeah.
feel like they VOD reviewed, like I guess would be a way of putting it.
I can see that.
Because you get 2-0'd and it's like I would think you would adjust something, but I couldn't. It didn't look like they really adjusted anything. As far as like the way that they were defaulting, I guess that was my biggest issue, was the way that they were defaulting didn't really make sense. I don't know. Most teams, like when we have them on, we'll ask them like if they have an IGL, and most teams don't. A lot of teams have like multiple people. And it goes back to what you were saying about like the teams that VOD review. If all 5 players are on the same page as to what the team they're going up against is going to do, then it works. But if not, you kind of need to have somebody calling. So Wing just looked like they didn't have one person kind of mid-rounding. What is the biggest thing? Like they had okay ideas like pre-barrier. It seemed like their setups were good, like their defaults made sense, and then like mid-round it would just kind of fall apart. In both
yeah.
games, I would say.
I think that's probably the best way to really point Wing. Like we can kind of go into it, at least like the good stuff that they still have going into the TS series. But I think it really just paints the picture of, okay, these guys have like just an insane floor because of their just general play style, the way they're playing as a team. But beyond that, it's not like super in depth as some of like the heavy prep teams. They're kind of just going in with their one comp style or 2 comp styles and just being the better shooters pretty much. But at least like with the series against EMEA, it did make them seem lethal. It did seem that way also with TS, although that was more just like 2 nuclear bombs kind of just going at each other and the rest of everybody being coughing babies. But this one made it feel like, okay, there is something you can take from Wingman being a little bit vulnerable.
I think the biggest thing is like, because I did VOD review them like before, like I watched their last game. And I think the biggest thing I pulled out of it when I was looking back at my notes is that most of my notes were talking about how to fight them, not what they were necessarily doing. Because like, legitimately, what it came down to most of the time is that they're gonna they're gonna fight you on site and try to push you off it. But once like you stop that initial push, they don't really have any ideas past that, which I saw in my VOD review a lot of the times. Like when a team stopped their initial push, they were winning most of those rounds. So like a lot of our game plan is like you saw in Split. Like I was just spamming them with an Odin, and they were just stalling them on the other site with their util. Once like their push got stopped, they didn't know what to do, and we just exploited that over and over again.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case with a lot of the teams in this, where it's like you usually just have your one fundamental idea, and then beyond that, the mid-rounding layers, it's not necessarily going to be there unless you're really set on that. Otherwise, you're kind of just going at it. But I think it also really shows just the one-sidedness or like the one-trick pony side of just their comp in general, where it's like if they aren't able to play their certain way or they aren't able to fulfill their plan, yeah, it's just gonna more than likely fall apart aside from individual heroics. So anything you want to add to this, Hecla? Did you watch this match or
I kind of like caught a few things, but yeah, no, most of the things you guys have already been saying has just pretty much been summed up, I think.
Is Claps on Wingman?
Yeah, Claps is the one on Wingman. Yeah, so that's
what's his username? Is it Jinx?
Yeah,
Okay,
Jinx. So Claps being
that being
the other nuclear bomb, the Clove one trick.
Yeah,
from
so
last
I
season.
hear a lot of things about Claps, like it's Claps and Friends, and I wasn't around for season 1, but I will say for like the amount that I've heard about it, and maybe it's like I guess I don't know, like maybe it's a meme or maybe if it is legit, like low key doesn't live up to the hype quite the way I would
Well,
expect.
I will say
Um,
his performance was night and day for like against us and then against TS. Like he went from like
yeah.
dropping a stinker against us and to TS Haven just
Even I guess
almost getting the kill record by himself.
yeah, he did do well against TS, I will say, although he actually wasn't the one that stood out to me against TS. Sky was, but obviously we can talk about that
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
But yeah, Jinx, yeah, I guess I did notice eventually that like the Clove 1 trick. So I guess that does kind of limit in a way what he's able to do. So I guess he's not going to stand out as much to me because like I guess for me things that stand out more are like big brain players more than just shooters. So I guess it's Jinx is more of a shooter, I
Yeah,
guess.
I guess the best way to frame it in a way is that,
Which
you
he is a
know,
really
even
good shooter. So
yeah, with all these aimers, it kind of just shows that hey, they are mortal, they are lethal, they can lose. So it's just like anybody can be shut down. Doesn't matter if you're like the second highest rated player in this tournament. Like you can still, you know, have an off game.
well, I think yeah, and I think again it's the Clove, so it's like you're not going to be necessarily setting up your team like in a crazy way. So it's like just down to your fragging pretty much.
Exactly. And I think it really is just the Clove because a lot of those kills also came from just the chaos that is, you know, using Clove as an agent with,
Yeah.
you know, say like the alts, which did happen at least in the second match. But yeah, overall, it's very feast or famine in a sense.
Yeah.
So we can pivot away at least from like Wingman and EMEA for a little bit and let's get a little bit silly with the Silly Geese against DRX. Yet again, another match I didn't end up watching, but then again, it was early for me. So
we yeah, I played that game.
yeah.
I don't know, Silly, I feel like yeah, Silly was overall I don't know, they feel average. I feel like they aren't gonna be a top team. They're definitely one of more like the mid teams. I think if they I don't know. Pi has said that he's going to be swapping off the Fade.
I did
So
hear about that, yes. Supposedly.
but I don't know. I
yeah,
think
I heard they had something cooked.
yeah, I
Like
think
something cooking.
I don't know
in the
who
future.
are they playing a game this next week? No, they aren't.
No.
No, but it is something that we are at least aware of that, at least like on the side of Silly, from what we've heard is that, oh, they want to try and, you know, expand some of their horizons. Just depends on with whatever Pi might be playing. It was kind of what I was alluding to before with, you know, some people have some very obvious playstyle stuff or just tendencies or just gimmicks that they'd like to go with. And I feel like that was one of the ones I was catching a lot of flack, at least from like the outside and everybody who was watching that match. What at least did you take away from all that sort of stuff, Tekla?
Like so like map 1 we didn't really like actually we should I don't know. Well, we expected the Odin, at least I did, because I casted their game against ZIRC. And so I took that away, and since I saw that we were playing them, I was like, oh, we gotta watch for the Pi Odin. And so I think there's a few rounds that we're like, oh, Pi's probably just gonna buy normal here. And I checked like I just clicked tab and I was like, oh wait, he's gonna be buying an Odin. We just gotta like rush him or just like if we just get him where he's not comfortable with an Odin, it's just I don't know, it should be a free site for the most part. Like Haven, I felt like we shut down Pi the most there.
Yeah, and I guess that does make some amount of sense because like when it comes to Silly on Haven, like they've had some very like
We dog walked them on Haven.
Yeah, but I mean more so like with series before, like they've won some series, sometimes off the Pi just carrying. Other times they've looked like completely lost, and it's more just like I feel like that one can be very fierce or famine with them. But then I guess on the other hand, then you guys also played Abyss against them, map 2.
Yeah, our Abyss was like I can't remember what half ended as, but No, we I think we had like a 7-5, 8-4 half where we were up, and then they just kept hitting B. I think they hit A like once or twice, maybe. But for the most part, like we just could not stop their B hold. Like we were like, oh, they like we figured out what they were doing. We're like, oh, we just gotta counteract this, but we just like didn't really like discuss a way how to counteract it. We just kind of sort of like, oh, we just gotta do this, and it just didn't work out at the end, and they ended up taking it back like 13-10, I think. So it was just overall not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Like overall, like I was observing this game and like honestly, my biggest problem is that I don't think Silly has a plan of what like we were talking about how Wing don't really have that much of a plan what to do past like the first 20 seconds. I think Silly also has that problem because like they keep picking into Haven and I don't know why. They they were 1-3 going into it on Haven, and now they're 1-4 going into it. So like, I don't know if
Yeah.
they really have a plan going into these games, and I think that's really why they're losing most of the time.
Yeah,
It's
Do
like
they
I
have a
going
permaban or?
I think they permaban, yeah, Sunset, because we were talking about like when we first got the game schedule for the week, we're like, oh, we're gonna permaban, we're just gonna ban Haven off rip, and then like to actual game day, we're like, actually, it's just like I don't know, we're fine. We discussed and we're like, we're fine with actually playing Haven. I think we should just take them to maps we're comfortable on more than try to take them to maps that they're uncomfortable on, I think. And so that like that's what ended up with with our map ends of what was Abyss, Haven, and Bind. And like I don't know, I honestly I expected more of their Haven since they played it so often. Like I did not expect 11-1/2. I think I don't know, it's just
yeah, that's
mildly disappointing.
that's the problem. They just like they pick it and they just have like no ideas on it. Like,
Yeah.
did
I
we
guess
did we
like
talk about Iz yet?
Not yet, and I
No.
was actually gonna like kind of go
The
into that,
goat?
because yeah, not only do you have is I consider one of my goats. I know that kid can shoot. But talk to us just kind of about like the team for that series because you also had Amara subbing in, and I mean we're about to kind of get to the flip side of what had happened with that. But kind of going about having Amara in this series and just how that functioned overall, just even just all five of you on the team that day.
Yeah, Amara, because Amara was replacing Platt, and Platt's our like I would say our main caller for like pre-round stuff. But like Amara, we asked them like what's up, and he's like I'll probably just like mid-round call maybe, but I'm not planning on like just main calling for you guys. And we're like, yeah, that's fine, it's like all good. And I think like this game, like it was mostly just like maybe 1 or 2 rounds we'd have like a set shut off barrier, but we mostly just like mid-round calls like, oh, we saw like X person here, we're gonna do this, and then like just kind of like do whatever and react instead of I don't know. There were definitely a few rounds where it didn't go that way, but it was more just play for the mid round, I think, if anything.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like a lot of teams, like in a way, like they will have an idea on like, okay, we should do something in the mid round, but I feel like a lot of it kind of just gets made into just noise. And I feel like with someone who has an idea with mid rounding, again, you would kind of have Platinum kind of do that too, but then like Amar brings a different perspective that I think is still just quite valuable and interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
But again, like kind of going later, it's like, I mean, playing 2 series back to back, one where you're not really supposed to, it can kind of take the toll on it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I guess like the rest of it, yeah, like in terms of like your team consistently, because we haven't talked a whole lot about DRX, especially like not really last episode. So do you want to give any more just insight on just how the team is kind of like functioning together, like as the five?
We're like a rec team. We show up on game day, we're there to play. We don't talk that much outside. Like we talk about like getting together to like, run 5-mans or something. And it's like, yeah, I'm busy this day though. And they're like, well, I'm free this day. It's like, well, I'm busy that day. So it doesn't really work out. But like, honestly, I think like I feel like we're a good vibes team. Like map 1, we lost. We talked about we probably had like a 5-minute talk maybe about what went wrong. Map 2, we're just like joking around the whole time. Like I'll be honest, like map 2, I was pulling Pokemon cards half that game. like straight up. and then like we because like I feel like we never really carry over a map loss. Like we always just kind of sort of just like reset and just kind of like do whatever. Like I feel like we're very we play for comfort. We play to have a good time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's always going to be like the main takeaway with that sort of stuff too. Like you can have like the side of it being like, oh, you have like some heavy prep. You get that perspective when you have someone like Platinum who, yeah, because he did win last season, right? Or was he on a different team, for season 1? I don't quite remember. But you have someone who is still like decently prep heavy, but then you have people like who are good vibes. Like I would consider Iz to be one of those vibes
Oh,
players too, and
is this for sure a good vibe?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
when you have all that, like that's really kind of what you want the most. You need a balance of being comfort, vibes, just being good in the server without too much going on. Once you add in that perspective of, okay, we can be a little bit more cerebral with our gameplay, not just rely purely on vibes. I think it's when you have that balance of the two, that's who you really see as being that higher echelon in this tournament, I think. I mean, you guys can chime in on that as well, but that's
I
the
think
perspective I have.
I had to run to the bathroom real quick, so I don't know if you guys talked about this when you were bringing up Iz, but like I think he definitely is one of the bigger win conditions of the team. Obviously, when you have like a super fragging IG or a super fragging duelist player, and I think something I was noticing in like the DRX versus SLLY game, well, like on Abyss, I think was up like 20 kills in the first half, and then like 4 kills in the second half. I think something like that. Um, and I think a lot of it comes down to like the team setting him up. Like I would love to see the team set him up from like to actually take advantage of his high fragging, because I think it could be even more or more
Yeah.
valuable. I guess. Because obviously when you're dropping 30 kills, like what more can you ask for? But I think it's like
40.
and 40. I think
Yeah, I mean we gotta get to 42. We've been breaking it so far. Someone's
that's
gonna hit
true.
40 soon, surely.
Yeah.
I think some of it's
One of these
also
days.
on like on the player like themselves, like on is not pushing out ahead of the team, coordinating more. So like the fact that it's like the vibes are good, I guess that's really great. But then like what you were saying about the more cerebral part of it, and I think if the team, like the entire team, had more of a like plan, I guess, in how they were going to do their own thing, I think they could get away with just doing their own thing. I don't think they really need to worry too much about what the other team is doing. I think if they just like coordinate better as a team, then they could be beating everybody pretty much.
Yeah, no,
That's kind
I
of what
feel
I'm
like
alluding to too. With at least with like Platinum, you have that bare minimum there. I would imagine to where it's like, okay, you do have an amount of it, and that's why, at least for me, I think that you guys can shoot higher than what you've done so far. Like I think you guys can do pretty well, considering you have at least a mix rather than just all eggs in one basket.
yeah. No, I feel like we're one takeaway I've come with is that like me and Iz we tend to overheat a lot. That's like what ends up with like Iz dying on a few rounds. I know last week is there was like a round on Abyss where they overheated and got killed, where like the call for the team was just hang on, sit back, just it's like a 1v3, we don't need to push out. Then Iz just like immediately died because they were jumping off like heaven rope on A, and we're just like, and then I think I don't know, someone just, I heard them like just audibly sigh into their mic, and I was just like, yeah, just gonna happen though. I mean, I feel like the longer this goes on, I feel like the more we're gonna gel as a team. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Do you guys have
Well, I
somebody
mean,
who's like calling?
Yeah, it's
like besides Platinum, I guess.
Platinum main call, and then I think we all kind of like Longclaw and Rude. Those two kind of, I would say, mid round, and then me and Iz are just kind of like we're in the back seat a little bit in terms of calling.
Yeah, you guys are more the shooters. And that's what I was confusing myself with. Actually, Longclaw was the one that was on the team that won last year. So, yeah, it's more like, because I'm not too familiar with Longclaw that much. Hasn't played many 10-mans, but like I know that I mean their impact is there because I mean now they won last season.
No.
So
No, they're good. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate you guys giving more insight to DRX because we didn't really have that last week, and that was one thing I was actually curious about. Since I like your team, I like Iz, and I like seeing that you guys are really starting to gel together more and more. So that's why I'm hoping like to see more success from you guys. So I like that perspective at least that you can give us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially because again, I didn't get a chance to watch this match, but I mean, I'm hoping for you guys doing well. And I mean, you guys really showed that here ultimately against SLLY. So
Yeah.
now we can get
Maybe
on
one
to
of these games will win a first map.
I believe that, yeah. So let's move on to the second ZIRC match, or the second match that Amara ended up playing immediately after your series. ZIRC versus DRG. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of us were kind of thinking that DRG would kind of, take this one a bit more handily, especially after. Yeah, bronze Babble guaranteed, one of two. But beyond that, just us washing ZIRC the day before, I guess a lot of people really would have had in their head because it did show in the predictions in the Discord that, wow, a lot of people really thought DRG would just win this, especially with how cerebral they kind of are. And they didn't. So, I mean,
Yeah, I
I'll give
know.
the floor to you, Linus, since you produced this one. You at least had a vision of this one, at least. If you want to go first.
Sorry, you said my name. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to give insights, to open the floor here.
This one was kind of a blur. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, honestly,
I was paying attention the whole time, but it felt like I was doing something else the whole time. If that means anything or says anything. But
I get that too.
yeah, it was. Actually, I have to remind myself of what the score was here.
Yeah, because I think the sunset, like they were coming back eventually, and then they kind of just choked it out. But that is where like they kind of admitted like that was like their best bit, but otherwise it was sort of just.
Yeah, because it was the 2-0.
Yeah, the 2-0 there. The Haven, which they ended up coming back, like ZIRC, they bounced back after the 13-3 wash that we did on Koi against them the day before. And then the sunset where things were eventually starting to look. It was just. Yeah, it was really rough. I think part of it really mainly too, just consider the fact that Mara played 5 maps in a row and was already kind of burnt after the first series. And I think that should really paint into perspective that just being that overdone in that day, especially as one of the, the bigger brains of DRG, it's going to be rough, and that obviously tanked a bit of it too.
Yeah.
I
think that's fair. I think, yeah, Abyss was definitely pretty much a wash. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, it was all 5 Zirconians over DRG. Yeah, Zirconians over DRG. Like, it was all 5 players on the scoreboard, so it was like pretty much a set and done game. Obviously, OT on the second map was a lot closer, but I will say it was unfortunate for Mar. I wasn't aware that they were playing 5 games in a row, so that would like explain it more. But like the KO was not very good, to be honest. Understandable after playing that much. But I would say that it was a very interesting pick. I'm not really sure why the team went with it. The setup wasn't great from Amara, and then also the team didn't seem like they were ready to play with a KO, to be honest. Like,
because I think that is the first time they did pick the KO on Sunset. Like they had on the stage before, but I think the K was brand new.
It just didn't make sense, to be honest. So yeah, that definitely an interesting choice. And then I just wonder if Amara is like comfortable on that agent.
I think Amara is comfortable on it, but I think it really just came down to playing like, this is the 5th map that she played that day, and it just kind of showed with that, especially with probably no experience playing with the team with the KO. It might have just been raw, just all right, let's just send it, and yeah, it wasn't really doing too much for majority.
Yeah, I know in our game Amara was wanting to play the KO, but they ended up playing mostly Senti, I think, throughout the whole series, except on map 3. But I mean, I don't know, I think it was just more that they probably got set into playing a certain role in our series, but that doesn't really make sense. I think I don't know. I think I would just pin it down on mostly fatigue. You know, you play 3 maps, like 2 of them being, I would say, like somewhat close, fairly close. So yeah.
Yeah.
I will have to say though, like we can give a pass to Amara, but like I think this was like dabbled on a little bit last week about DRG's inconsistency, but like I think that really showed in this one, because like I think ZIRC did change it up a little bit, but I think they didn't change it up that much to a degree that DRG should have lost like that. Like DRG contested them on one half, like the other halves were just blatant like shutdowns. Like, and I like came in the match halfway through thinking it was going to be like maybe like a 1-1, and I was like, holy cow, ZIRC is just like destroying them here. And like just looking back a little bit, I realized like, wow, DRG is just not shooting. And like, and we mentioned this, that they're the top rated team. I think it's like they have to figure out this inconsistency problem, because they're just going to keep losing games if that keeps happening, where teams are just out shooting them. Because especially in our skill level, sometimes you can have the best ideas. If you can't shoot a person in the head, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Like, I don't really want to put it all on, like, saying, like, Straight is, like, inconsistent, because I don't really think that's the case. Obviously, it was a colder day for Straight compared to, you know, the lights out performance that happened against, it was, I think, oh, yeah, it was TS. H crying in the background. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not even necessarily just that. Like, yeah, everyone was kind of cold, I think, just across the board. But beyond that, I think, yeah, I think the most criminal thing is I feel like ZIRC didn't really change up too much with the Haven, and they didn't really exploit much on DRG's side from what they could have taken from our series. I think that was the more rough part, at least with why that was so one-sided there. And as Jua kind of admitted later, in like some conversations, that's just they just had the strat of, okay, let's just keep hitting the one site, like on our sunset attack, and you know that brought to OT. Obviously couldn't close it out, but it was just really figuring out that just let's just do it. And I think that's really part of the aspect of what you can kind of do with ZIRC, to try to exploit them, because it feels like they're pretty one-sided in their strats. At least in terms of like how they kind of want to like play a site, or where they tend to play around. Not really change it up, going further on really much adaptation. And I don't think DRG realized that, but I think that is obviously what happened here with why the sunset got as close as it did. But I think all in all, it is like that, where it's like, yeah, the inconsistency is kind of really bringing it in. So I think there was a few other things to bring up with this too. Like, we had like a couple of clips. I think there was something about Pi doing a bad and losing it, giving like 10 gifted or something. That, and I think there was like I think there was a clutch from Naboos that I remember
There was
streaming about. So I think we had something like that at least prepared. I don't remember. I heard something about it. So.
The Naboos clutch was a 1v3.
Oh yeah, this clutch, yeah.
And then
yeah, no, this was like a la, like I was calling out Scary with this too, really, where it's like, okay, they kind of just let him have Spike, and I think this kind of brings in I want to say part of the fatigue a bit, because they felt very disjointed in this, because like I think Cap and I were kind of thinking in the moment, like, there's no way they're just going to give him individual fights, right? Like, they're just kind of coordinating together, but it was kind of rough. It felt like it was checkmate, but it wasn't. And I mean, proof for a good clip, but I definitely think it highlights just some of the issues that you can have with DRG.
Yeah, like that. You just like can't peak like that. Like the Neon
Just
coming so
fundamentals.
late after the Omen was like just swinging by himself. Like, it's just like a little sloppy. That like that was costing them games. That map, and it cost them the game overall, I think.
I mean, hitting the sliding neon was pretty good, obviously. But I think, yeah, it's just fundamental things where like the neon throws the stun, and then you should just be pushing out. If one person's allowed to push by themselves, it's the neon, especially because they're all alone. So it's like, why aren't you just going in there? The
Exactly.
pressure's
I wonder-
already
I wonder
on.
if it was
Your
like
game is
You
a-
saw it
done.
from the POV too. Like they were droning in like as that moment they
Right,
were stunned, and
right.
everyone was sitting back, and it's like, okay, why not just
I wonder if it was like a mental kind of thing of them like trading so late. It's like, oh, this is the last round. We might lose if we just lose this round, just in general. And like, I mean, like you guys already said, just like it just ended up being just bad trading by each of them, I would say, and just unfortunate for
Yeah,
for
I
DRG
mean
at
they
the end of the day.
obviously wanted to fight that together, because I mean they let them go from C to A and they knew about it, so it was more just like, okay,
Mhm.
they knew what they needed to do, they just didn't execute on it well. But I think overall, like you're gonna have a lot of stuff like that, and I think it'll be also a little bit more understandable in the next one, on the next series, that just having the lack of fundamentals can kind of skew things in one way or another, where it's like, yeah, it's gonna happen, it's gonna suck, you gotta get more of that coordination going on, but again, that just comes with playing a bit more. So
I think what one last interesting thing on the DRG versus ZIRC was that they played it, in my opinion, like not a great comp on the second map, but it was like way closer of a game. Like, I just
DRG or ZIRC?
yeah, no
DRG with the
DRG.
KO, right? Yeah, the KO
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. I just don't. If you have a really specific plan, then yeah. But like, I think for a team of just 5 players that are gonna go in there and play the game, like it was definitely didn't make sense. Obviously, like the Sova's good. The Neon's good. The Omen's good. But I don't really like the KO or the Sage. And I'm not saying that those players were necessarily the problem. I
No,
know they were the
definitely
bottom of
not.
the leaderboard, but
Yeah.
I think it was more of the agents. And like I said before, like the KO just didn't make sense because the team wasn't ready for the KO.
Yeah,
But,
like
yeah.
I said, it was I think it's just they were not ready for the comp, like
Yeah,
whatsoever. At least,
yeah.
like playing it together, like aspects of it can work, and I think with more time practicing the comp, it could have worked out. But I just think it really just came down to them going at it for the first time, and it just clearly not working out really. So
Who's actually on the team? Like who was Amara subbing for?
On DRX,
on DRX it was
Platinum.
for Platinum.
Oh, okay. And then Amara's actually on DRG.
On
On-
DRG, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the main team, and it kind of just
So the sub first and then yeah, that is tough.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So then let's go into the final series of the week. We got Wingman coming back in again, or what it felt like Claps and friends going up against H and friends on Tequila Sunrise.
This was such a good game. Like honestly, like
It was entertaining, yeah. It was.
I
entertaining.
disagree. I disagree.
what
With
I like.
no,
I mean,
with
floppily
Valencia.
entertaining.
No, with
Yeah.
Valencia's first point.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think it was Claps and Friends versus H and Friends. I think it
Okay.
was
No,
I think it was
agree.
Wing versus H and Friends.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because
it was,
Claps
yeah.
while getting close to the kill record, Claps was actually being set up well and was
Mhm.
doing their job. And I don't think they were even like the big thing, the big player of that game. Like I said before, and I'll get to it later, I guess.
Yeah.
But
No, I completely agree.
Sky was like
Yeah.
Sky was the one.
I think it's more so I'm kind of just looking at the map 3 that was like that more so, when otherwise, like, I completely agree, it was more just Wingman, and that is just more so, oh, you see the big number against the big number on just one of the 3 maps. That's more just me being just semantics wise, but I completely agree. It was a lot more of Wingman as a whole doing stuff, whereas Haste was just to pretty much become Fleta and Deadlift, and it was capable in some areas, but otherwise, I mean, it wasn't enough, really. It wasn't really enough.
Yeah, because I think it feels like Wing at least had like Claps had some backup to like help him in those fights, or like some of those moments where like some of H's players, I feel like that feels bad, but like some of TS's players they aren't there, you know, like they aren't there for the fight, so it just feels rough at the end of the day.
The aspect that I tried asking mainly, at least with like H, was like the one glimmer that I at least saw with them kind of looking good was their attack side on Pearl. Obviously, like H said that they kind of whipped it up, kind of like there, but it felt like on a fundamental level they kind of understood what they needed to do with the comp and how it would play into Wing, and it kind of just worked out very well. Obviously, everything after that was the fake comeback that happened on the defense, but it was interesting seeing some of their like obviously you could say weaker players, I suppose, but seeing them actually be comfortable was the thing that impressed me at least the most with at least that ProCon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a weird. I'm gonna defend TS here. Actually, I think their defense needs some work, but like, I genuinely like their attack. When I was
You know, I
watching
think
them, I was confident on like they were down 9-3, I think it was on Haven. I was like, they're coming back. Like, I think they can actually win this game. I was saying it in the
their attack is
VC.
really good. Yeah.
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 Like, I guess like yeah, I think H has said this himself that he probably needs to stick more with the team and play more off them. Because especially I like when H goes in first in front of his team. I like every time I see H off by himself, solo lurking up B, I kind of face palm. But like when H actually plays with the team, I'm really happy. And they usually do pretty well, in which like they're a pretty viable team. They have to fix their defense. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but like I think attack wise this team is really well set up, and if they fix that defense, I think they can be in some of these games and have a potential to win them.
Yeah, because I think part of what that is with Hagen, like I said, I would like him to talk about it himself, but I don't know if he really wants to as a producer, but it's more the idea that, you know, he's mainly like primarily a Sentinel player and that sort of thing. But then you kind of have to be that battering ram for your team, to where it's like, okay, you have to kind of just take it into your own hands because you're their best player. It's like, it's that whole dilemma of really figuring out what you really need to do and how you can uplift your team, because it feels like with the rest of the team, like there are glimmers to where they can support each other and really support H, but I feel like a lot of that was kind of lacking. Obviously, I think more of it eventually showed up on Corrode, which I highlighted with my analysis in that series, but otherwise, yeah, like with their defenses, it was not there whatsoever. They seem much more comfortable on attack, and I'm not even saying that just because I think it's just H that you can kind of just go in and just, you know, take the map control. I think the team had a better idea with it, even if it wasn't executed perfectly. It felt more comfortable for the 5.
I think something too is that like I think TS could have won that match. So it's like
I think so
it wasn't like it was super one-sided. You know, obviously it went all 3 maps. Last map was OT. Like I think maybe adjusting just a few things, then you know we'll start winning. I say TS will start winning.
I think.
So
Yeah, I think just
because I
looking
think
at
every
each
game
team's
is an
approach.
improvement. Like
Yeah, it has been nonetheless. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah,
It's a lot better than what it was like playing against like DRG.
Yeah, I can say I think this is the only thing I'll really comment about my team.
Are you audible on stream actually,
Yeah,
Hitch? I can. Okay.
The
okay.
biggest problem that we had was with our comms, because I know I'm immortal, but like I don't really, when I start fragging out, I like go completely quiet. And right now my team is very reliant on me, and especially Igneous being super like active and talkative. If we aren't talking, then the rest of the team like isn't talking. So our comms were a huge mess. Like half of the time, a couple of us were speaking, and then like I'd say like 70% of the time it was kind of just like silence. Like none of us were talking because me and Igneous would kind of be like locked in on our own thing. So we have a big problem with like our comms and how we talk with each other. So I think that's our biggest thing. Like if we get over that, then I think we'll be chilling. But
So
Yeah.
you guys just really need just like one of those other people on the team just to be like vocal instead.
yeah, sort of.
Yeah, and that comes down to, I mean, you're mainly supposed to be that person, and considering that, yeah, considering that, I mean, H kind of like handpicked like half of his team, like playing with some friends, like Shadow and Slow are probably so used to H like doing a lot of the calling anyway. So once you obviously lose that sort of thing, it's like I can understand where it's like, okay, then you sort of start to slow it down, and it's like you don't really know what to really do. You don't have that guidance, and it's kind of rough, especially in a non-ranked setting. That at least makes some amount of sense. It's just kind of hard to really, okay, what can we do to introduce more comms into this team that aren't just from H having to try to bring all the big ideas, but also being the battering ram that you need. I think that's the main thing you really want to try to figure out, and I'm not sure where that really is, or where the solution is, I may say.
I think Wing was also like they were just all over the place. Like
Yeah.
any team like playing against Wing, like specifically on Pearl, like Wing was just everywhere on both sides. So it's like especially Sky. So like Sky on that on the Jet was like, I mean the round I keep thinking of is when they push all the way up B long and they get into attacker's spawn, and then H is just in the astral,
The astral form, yeah.
the
Gets
astral
lurked up there.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, it's a comp thing, but it's also like a defaulting thing. So like having no info on belong, is obviously interesting. It was earlier on in the match though, so
Yeah, and that was
still
like
getting
the
warmed up,
yeah.
but and then on attack it was the same thing with like Sky would be working all the way down into like sewer, getting in behind them. So I think it was just, I think, yeah, you definitely see the individuals struggling a little bit with like everyone making the smart choices based on like their positioning. So it's like you can have not great positioning, but you still know what to do with that position, and I think that's kind of lacking. And again, it comes down to the comms, I guess, because if you're not comming as a team, obviously you're going to have a lot of holes.
Yeah.
You could
I
be
guess
defaulting right in all over the map, and if you're not sharing information, then no one's going to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the one caveat I'll give with that is really more so like immediately like right after that had happened, like they kind of just went back to being a bit more like aggressive as the 5. You didn't really have HD faulting kind of just lurking in
Mhm.
spawn like on the Astra. Like eventually you kind of do pick it up, but it's your points are still kind of valid in that sort of regard with that. But like to go back more into Wing, you were the one that was building up Sky so much with it. So was it really just on Pearl, or do you think like across the series as a whole, was the highlight there?
It was mainly on Pearl. It was mainly on Pearl.
Okay.
But I mean, I think Sky's a great player. Obviously, a bit different when you're on the Neon. Your kit is better for working with your teammates, working with the push, the main executes. With the Jet, it was interesting because they were running the double duelist on the Pearl, and I guess I would think the Yoru would be kind of doing all the lurking and pushing out and that sort of thing, just because you have the gate crash. But I guess the Yoda was with the pushes a lot more, I guess, because the only blinds that they had on Pearl. But I definitely enjoy watching Sky as a player, and I think they do what's needed for the team, which I think a lot of the wing players do. Like we were talking about Jinx earlier.
I think with
But
Wing
yeah.
overall, just they still have that comfortability at the end of the day, where it's like, yeah, they're in their very defined roles where they might play like 1 or 2 agents with only a few switching over. Like Sky, I would have primarily saying was like the Jet player, but then they played Neon in 2 of the 3 maps, and then they had I keep forgetting who the initiator player was with them, going between like obviously like the Fade or the Sova and that sort of thing.
Oh,
Who has
size bars, or yeah,
yes,
the
yeah.
name
Because
that I
otherwise
still
there's
probably am not pronouncing correctly.
yeah, because honestly, it's even still yeah. But I mean, you have
Case
like the hard
bars.
your yeah. Oh yeah, Casper. Yeah, case bars. Yeah, being the that's it. Yeah.
I don't think it was Casper, because I don't remember who was casting, and I'm not trying to out them, but
No, it's definitely
they
case
they
bars.
said
I know for sure.
Casper, and that
I'm
was
gonna blame Laura on that one for being a little, not sober in that series. But honestly, Slay Queen.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
worked
right. I
out.
forgot
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, that one was fun. But I mean, besides that, I mean, besides those 2 players kind of flexing, like you have Cyclone and not Chamber Jail, but like he is very comfortable with the Chamber. And I keep forgetting the name of the Yoru player. I mean, they've only really been playing
Radical.
Yoru, but again, that feels Radical. Yeah, Radical feeling more comfortable at least with the Yoru. And I mean, having that fundamentals there just makes their game plan a lot more sound because they keep it consistent, at least with the game plan. But I mean, it's obviously just, the comfortability really shining out more than anything else, I think, individually. And I think eventually you're still seeing that, like, across the series overall. just it not being exploited upon like it was in their first season.
Against the EMEA.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think my complaints about the EMEA game were fixed mostly for the TS series. Like not necessarily fixed, but I guess maybe they weren't challenged as much and so they were able to get away with more, but I just think the team was they were doing their own thing kind of instead of just like 5-man deathballing it all the time.
Caleb, you had that
Or
look on
like
your
not
face.
having a plan.
You did not agree with that. What do you have to rebut
I
with that then?
I genuinely think like they just like you guys are mentioning how it's like H and friends. Like I genuinely think that was the problem for them on defense this game. Like cuz Wingman just sent it still and they just weren't getting punished for it unless they went to H's site, which H sometimes defended. And like I think that's the problem is that like if you don't stall them out on their initial push, which I didn't see TS doing, they were just getting blown out of the water. Because like
Are you talking about
post-plant,
Abyss? Or sorry, Corrode?
yeah, corrode. Like
Corrode and Haven, I think, to that extent.
yeah,
too,
yeah,
'cause again,
especially
like, Haven
I
is
was
the one where it was the shooting between the hydrogen bomb. That's
Yeah.
where you really see that more exemplary in the stats, but overall.
because I think post-plant wise, Wing is the best in the league. Like if Wing gets a post-plant, they're so good at taking dry fights. If you like, you're just gonna lose to them if they get in a post-plant. And I think like against TS, they were getting into so many post plants that like it was just impossible for them to even do well. And I think it was even mentioned that like the only reason they even won Pearl at some point is because H won them a few rounds on
Twice up,
defense.
yeah. No,
So like
you made me think of the round where they had 5 vaults on TS and they couldn't even use that to retake. That was pretty.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
like-
have to clarify.
Yeah.
No. I have to clarify. So the reason this round went wrong was because I threw a really bad astral that was like it was good on old Pearl but bad on new Pearl.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah,
slow
no,
Astra
no,
ults through the wall. And so he got killed by Yoru, who was on the other side. He didn't calm that Yoru was on the other side. He just died. Didn't calm where Yoru was. And then he unults in street. So he unults CT. So he ulted from CT unults. He dies to chamber.
Show the round. Show the round.
I don't have enough. I can try and pull it up.
Yeah, you can pull it up after. It's okay.
Yeah, he dies.
But then he dies and then he calls one street.
He
but it
calls
wasn't
one
the street guy that
street,
killed him.
and then after the round, here's the crazy part. So I don't remember what round this was, but after we lose that round, and we're all like, okay, how the hell did we just lose that, right? I think I got the round that we lost. I can pull it up right here. So we lose this round. If you take a look at the mini map, you'll notice that there's a ping right here. Slow forgot he ulted from CT. And he thought he ulted from streets.
Yeah, I remember now.
So he calmed.
Yeah, when it was just in fact someone just came from flank.
Yeah, he calmed one street, so that's why like when Cyclone comes on this like big lurk that you see, we're all looking towards streets because slow like look, he dies, and then look, I'm looking towards streets because he calmed one streets, and then he didn't let us know about Yoru either. So we're all like looking over this way. It was a mess.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, all overall, it's like you kind of think about, okay, maybe we need to clean up our defense a bit, but it's not even like having that communication. Obviously, is going to be the key thing with like, okay, let's be a bit more vocal and a little bit more clear with what's going on, but having that idea with the defense overall. I think that's like, I'm not going to say that's like one of the de facto rounds you kind of just need to look at. In terms of like, okay, this is like fundamentally stuff that like this shouldn't be happening. This is what we need to really clean up on. But yeah, no, it's either way, it's rather really. Yeah, it's like, and I'm trying to think back to that Corrode too, where it's like, okay, you guys were able to at least figure a little something out. I don't know if it was really necessarily the map or if you guys were just playing a bit better on defense. I'm not too sure really, but it felt like there was at least something there, but otherwise it was just because again, like it went to 3 maps. Obviously, something had to go well. So
Just got a DM from Slow Ready saying, "Bro, he was streets. You gotta believe me."
I believe that. I believe now. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, like with the Haven as well, because you both ended up tying at 38, right? Like you and Claps respectively, I think, H.
Yeah.
Like how it ended up, right? Because I thought there was a 39 there, but I might just be delusional. Might be delusional. But
No, it's
even still, it's
still
like,
38.
like I'm saying, like the kill records keep getting broken and broken, at least per map. And I mean, even across the series, like what was the number that was throwing out? It was like in the 90s and that sort of thing. And which, I mean, obviously taking that without of context, I mean, it's cool to see that we're still breaking all these numbers and kind of just saying, okay, these are some like the greatest shooters that we've got. It's just okay, let's see what more they can do beyond just shooting. So
I think
Yeah.
I think yeah, TS is the same thing that I was saying with Is. You know, Hage obviously really good shooter. I think it's just having plans going into games of doing their own thing and just setting up Hage, you know, so that they get the frags. I really liked Haven. That was very fun to watch on the ISO, taking it like just nice timings and getting, a lot of kills, obviously 38 kills. And like I think mixing that with like having your team set you up, you could have probably won Haven. Shutting down Jinx obviously would have need to happen too, because they also dropped 38 kills. But yeah, I think just maybe working a little bit better as a team, which I think is something you can say for a lot of teams in the tourney that obviously should get fixed as we go along. I mean, we're only in week 4 or whatever.
yeah,
So, as people play together, like Tekla was saying, not everybody has time to scrim as a full 5, so
yeah. It's honestly it's between all that stuff too, because compared to like at least like you consider my team, we played like 2 games from week 1, and then we didn't play for 2 whole weeks. Then we just had 1 this past week, and then we're going to be playing 2 this next one. It kind of confused me in my mind that like, okay, are we like getting like halfway through the season so far, and we're still not even halfway through our games. Like we're still not at the 33 half point. So we're getting close to
Yeah.
it, but it's like, yeah, it's
think
going
we
to
have-
feel a lot longer just because of scheduling. So.
You have about like what
But it
20
still gives
games
enough
played right
time to
now,
kind
I
of
think.
figure it out.
20ish.
Yeah, with you guys at least. So, I mean, there's that part of me that kind of wants to still do the why am I blanking, the power ranking, just to kind of like lazily like see what kind of happens. But I guess we can kind of say that once we are like kind of halfway through really the season.
Well, aren't we
once
doing
get
that
to
today,
point,
or- It'd be-
see.
We were gonna, but we're taking too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
were
think
going
we're,
to, but
yeah.
Bronze Babble episodes usually only last like an hour, and we're an hour and 7 minutes in. So I think.
I thought we were
Crazy.
supposed to
We
be
should
the
make it
budget
an hour and a
plat chat.
half.
What do you mean
Yeah,
we're
well, it's
half your
gonna be an
time?
hour
That's
and a half when we
crazy.
talk about the predictions. So, because we still have that whole segment to do. We had 3 long sections, and last time talking about the game, talking about 12 teams took like 40 minutes, and we've talked about 5 games, and it's taken an hour. So I've got a different group of people here that actually watched the games. That's why it took longer. I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. Wow. What do you think was going to happen when you finally get a group of people
But-
who actually can talk about the stuff?
To
It's
be
crazy.
Come on,
fair,
man.
to be fair, it's also a good idea to do power rankings a little later when teams have got more reps than
that's
others.
true.
So
Yeah, I
Makes
think
more
we're still
sense.
figuring out some of that. Like,
Well,
it's kind
yeah,
of like
when
what I
crew
was
doesn't go
thinking.
against a top team or something like that.
Yeah, because
Wait, isn't
that's
it
not
crew
helping this week
versus
either.
TS?
It's not.
It's crew versus
Crew versus
Koi, I
Koi.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
yeah,
TS is
we're-
versus Koi and
Yeah.
TRX.
Oh wait, I'm
Yeah,
still
we're
gonna have
thinking-
Ethan's predictions. Oh my, I'm gonna have Ethan's.
Yeah, no. Do
Ethan.
you want to like quickly like input them, H, and I can like stall a little bit actually, like because I was gonna say like just overall.
I don't think so.
It's
gonna
probably
take-
hard,
It's
it's
gonna
fine.
take me like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's
it'll
fine.
be
I'll-
funny
I-
to watch Caleb.
Yeah, we need that power ranking that at that point. Just stall us for 10 minutes. That's
Yeah.
fine.
You-
But no, I mean that's
do
kind of what I
you-
was.
No,
You want me to? Or?
he doesn't.
At
have
least
listen-
DM them to him, so we at least have that info like ready.
Well, it doesn't
but no, what
matter.
else? Yeah.
I'll
what I was
just
really
take
gonna say-
Ethan's.
Okay.
Fair enough. But what I was really gonna kind of say is like even still like with like the power rankings, that sort of thing, we still don't really know what all the teams are fully capable of. The example I was gonna give, and I kind of said it before, was I wanted to see more of what DRX had going on, and now I'm starting to get that picture built in my head a bit more. Hell, even for my team, it's like I'm still trying to figure out everything else going on, but now that we finally played again, after 2 weeks of not playing, it's like, well, okay, now you have a better idea of what's going on, and I think
Yeah.
once you
There's
start
like
to
a
have
few
some
teams I have like a
teams-
general idea of where I feel like they would go,
Yeah.
but like I do agree it's a little early. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have everything blocked out, maybe with like, okay, you have like the contenders, like the ones who are definitely going to be in, the ones who are probably there, you just don't know where yet. Then that middle block of who's not really going to make it, and then the few that are definitely not, because, yeah, again, it's just, you have the basic structure, but again, like, it can fluctuate so much that we just don't have that yet. It's
Uh-oh.
what we have.
Oh, my
Hello?
Wi-Fi
Oh,
went
you
out.
crashed?
Okay, my Wi-Fi.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Gotcha, dude.
That's
I drew a
crazy.
mustache on Teklo's face, and then everyone just
Yeah, I saw.
disappeared. I was like, what? I was like, what did I
Yeah.
do?
Oh, I just saw it on the stream.
Yeah.
No, it just crashed on the stream. On the stream, it just clashed.
Is the stream
Yeah,
back?
That's rough.
Yeah, no, we're good now, but
Yeah, we're good.
Dude,
That's
I thought
yeah.
I did something. I was like,
You did. You put a
oh
mustache
my
on
god.
Teklo and it fucking ceased.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the actual plat chat. It's okay. The offshoot's gonna have the issues, for sure. All right, so I think at that point, yeah, we're good to go into predictions then for this week. We've got 5 games coming up. Third week in a row where we've got 3 Sunday matches scheduled. So I guess Sunday's our best day, but we've got some different stuff this time. So
Super day.
Sunday is our super day. Yeah, that is true.
True.
But we have a Thursday game coming up here. The first match being Koi against Crew. It's more so I'm just thinking about just being the Thursday, really, and just like, okay, it's not on the weekend, but I also got ready for it. I assume it's coming up. Minus. Oh yeah! What is wrong with you? I forgot.
Oh.
I saw, like, split second, someone actually printed Crew. Explain yourself, please. I'm being
Listen.
biased now, but still, I want to hear
Listen.
what you have to say.
Yeah.
Listen. There's got to be an upset somewhere.
And you think it's my team? Come on, man!
Wait, what
Listen.
logic is this? Is this was like Shio on main flat chat? Like what?
I'm gonna
Oh,
be.
is
I'm gonna
this
be
Spring
real.
Theory?
It could be actually. I've not watched a lot of crew games, so I actually don't know why they're on the bottom. Like I've
don't
not
think so,
watched.
yeah.
I don't think any. Like I think maybe I produced one, but like I don't think I was paying attention.
I need to pull up
so-
crew stats actually.
So
Yeah.
Wait.
so low key, I just threw them in there because I was like, I don't really know which. I mean, I see Koi is like 4th, so that's nice. But they're only 2-1, so maybe they're maybe they're just good.
I'm gonna
But
just
you
say
think
this.
that we're going to lose to Crew because of Spank Theory. That is... I understand
I
that, but
guess.
I'm
All
calling
I'm
that
gonna
diabolical
say-
out of my bias.
They have a 38% win rate on attack and a 41% win rate on defense. So
All right.
And
Have
if
you
you
also
won one
considered
map
that
across
they've
all the games
played
they
against
played.
like most of the top teams though?
Yeah, they did do that.
Or
And
like
that's what
what-
I was saying about it last week. Like, that's what I said too, is like, okay, they went against some of the top teams. Again, they're going to go against arguably another top team, biases aside. It's just like, they're going to get that win eventually. Spank Theory will come into play. I just don't think it's this week, biases aside. Like, completely not considering it, I don't think they are going to be able to beat us. Like, our core is so good that they're just not going to be able to do anything. I know Art and Misao are good, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win them, like, this series. I don't think so.
yeah, I don't think
I
this
agree
is
with you.
Crew's week.
So then why'd you pick them?
I did. That wasn't me. That was Linus.
No. Why did Linus pick them? If he's like,
Yeah,
he's great
Ethan,
with-
why did you pick them?
Yeah, why did you pick them?
Jeez.
It wasn't me. Luckily I don't have to defend this pick if Ethan.
Get him out of here.
Ethan does a really bad pick, but like, I don't know. I haven't seen Crew have like that good of ideas, and like until I see some life, like any signs of life, I'm not gonna bread them whatsoever. Even if they have played against good teams, like for most teams, I can see life. Like TS, for example, I see life in some of their games in some rounds. For Crew, I just haven't seen that yet, which is my problem.
They're just a dead
they're
team.
dead,
this
and
week.
they need to reincarnate. pretty much. Yeah. What have you got on this one then, Tekla? Is it just same old, or?
I just think, I pretty much. I think, if they're going to win a game, it would be this one. I mean, of course, they have future games, but hang on. I see the face you're making. Hang on. But I did pred Koi because I just think you guys are overall a better team, and I think you guys are probably one of those top teams that are going to be contending. So.
Well, I at least appreciate that praise at least. So I'm hoping you guys keep it up in this next one because surprise, surprise, there's no Friday game, but there's one Saturday game, and it's also us against TS this time, H's team. I'm not sure where people are going, but I'm just going to do this preemptively. I don't know, but I'm curious to see where you guys are going with this one. Like my faith is all been proven here. Yeah, it's my team, but I have faith. Really? Really, guys? Come on! All right, give me the case for TS then. I want to hear what you guys have to say with them because I've
I'll let Caleb go first because Caleb looks like he has it prepared.
Wait, yeah, because that's Ethan's pred. What the fuck? Ethan preded with you. Wait, Caleb, you think that it's still Koi, right?
I predicted Koi already.
I think he's rage voting. He's upset that we lost.
No, you have to defend. You have to defend your
I'll
make the first one, not TS.
I'll make the theoretical case. You know what? I think Koi is just not going to watch any of TS's VODs. They're just not going to do any prep whatsoever. H is going to come in there, drop a 50 bomb right up their ass, and they're just not going to be able to do anything. Like, I think it's going to be a 12-0 on attack. It's going to come back to like a 12-11, and then H is just going to get an ace to win the game on defense.
The reason why I preded Tequila Sunrise over Koi was, I think, because they have two games, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. I think they will win one of those games and lose one of those games. So
you don't think
this is the game I think,
or win
I
both?
think this is.
Sorry, they could.
I think this game they'll win, and I think that's because H and his friends they're all gonna use the power of friendship, and they're gonna cook you guys.
The thing is, there is friendship because he made his team with his friends, so that is valid. That is valid.
I don't know what team of friendship just doesn't call though. Like doesn't call.
Dang.
Oh my god. Okay, so friendship
my
aside,
goodness.
Linus, I shouldn't speak on this. Be the voice of reason. Why am I winning? Why is my team winning? Why is Koi winning?
I think Koi will win, but you'll bottom frag.
I'm gonna bottom frag. Okay.
No, I'm
that I can understand, but at the same time, okay, now.
No, literally, it's because I felt bad after what I did to what I predicted in the first game. I was like, I can't. Koi doesn't get hit twice, and
you actually think that we could go 0-2 this week? You actually think we could?
No, I don't. That's why I'm predicting you.
The 30%.
No, I'm saying I couldn't predict you to lose 2 games. Like that just wouldn't happen.
But it's more so you saying that it made it sound like we could.
No.
You think that we could actually? Okay.
No,
okay.
and I actually had the same. I had the same idea as Teklo. I just picked the other game for TS to win. So
okay, that's. Fair,
I think TS will. I think TS will win one of their 2 games. But it's like a chain reaction. Like I don't think you guys would lose 2 games, and I thought TS would win at least one of their games. So
that's fair. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I can see there being a chance for us to kind of mess it up. It's more that in my mind, especially after seeing how we played last week and how I assume we're at least going to play with crew, is that I just have faith in our core just being just better. Like we've got 3 shooters as a core. Yeah, we might int a bit. That's kind of part of the team name for a reason. But I think that we're just going to be on, and I don't see us feasibly losing either of these matches. Really, I just don't. I have faith in my teammates. So if we lose, blame them, not me. I love you guys.
I will. Ball is law. There's a 9% chance you go 0-2.
Yeah, no. Wait, that's the bullet flow? Wait, what?
Well, it's
No.
30%. Yeah, well, you have
What?
30% to lose both
Yeah.
games in my head. 30% to lose both
Yeah.
games. That together is like a 9% chance overall for you guys to
That's
lose
fair.
both.
Yeah, because that I would still give. Like, honestly, like, there is genuinely a chance that we could lose this one. I think that if we were to lose one of the two, it would be just because H just kind of slobbers on all of us. So it's just like.
Well, I
and, like,
think
that's- yeah.
I think there was
Yeah.
something with the map bans too. So maybe if Tequila picks the maps that they want to play, then they'll look a little better. And I think I agree with the point that was made previously that Tequila is a better team than Crew. And so if you were to lose to a team, I actually think it would be Tequila, regardless of what my predictions were.
Exactly. Yeah. And I like, even biases aside, that's what I'm thinking. Because I can somehow, surprisingly, I can think objectively. I don't know how I can. I just can. You just have to take my word for it.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on to a series that isn't me glazing my own team.
It's
what
gonna
have we
be
got?
me glazing my own team.
Oh
Let's get
yeah,
it.
it is yours. So we can set you up with
Yeah.
that. So it's DRX versus oh god, I actually forgot which it was. Was it JDG?
No, TS.
Oh TS. Oh, it's TS. Oh yeah. Okay, so DRX
Okay,
versus
wait.
TS. So Really?
No way, you guys all predicted.
Termos
What?
for
Yeah, I don't-
guns. Where's my bread?
You didn't
Where's
give-
mine?
You gave me your
Oh,
cred while I
yeah,
was in
no.
the doctor's office. So
You printed the pillow.
Okay, but I still gave it to you.
Yeah, he does have a point.
He does have a point, and I literally
What
told
was
him I was going to
your-
do it
what
later,
was your
but the
cred?
problem is that
What
I
was your
napped
cred?
and it took so much longer with it.
He
It was
doesn't
because I
remember.
just-
That's why he
tried
needs you to
the
bring it up.
No, you want to know why?
Cred
It was
DRX,
because I couldn't
right?
remember if Platinum was on your team or not. That's what it was.
You tried
And it was like,
DRX,
okay,
right?
yeah, no, with the team,
How,
it's like,
how do we have 0 guarantees? Like, genuinely.
That's my
Hang on,
job.
you don't
I
know.
literally just
There's-
know what you all are
next
predicting.
game. Next game could be a guarantee. You don't know that.
surely,
It's
yeah.
the
But
next game
okay,
is the
but Gil, do you agree
guarantee.
with it?
What?
Do you agree with this
DRX?
one? Do you agree with Ethan's pick? Do you agree with it? Like, are you like also DRX?
I
or-
this one I agree with.
Okay.
I think DRX showed against Silly that if a person plays out of space, like out of line, they will capitalize on it, and you guys are gonna lose the round. I think you have to be a little coordinated, and as H just mentioned earlier, they're not always coordinated, and I think that's just gonna lose them the game. Like, I don't see a way that DRX is gonna lose this. Of course, anything
mean,
can happen,
yeah,
but like,
yeah.
I genuinely don't see a way DRX is gonna lose this one.
So before I give it to Linus to give the other point with it, I mean, we kind of know it, but we can expound on it. You don't have any subs coming into this, Tekla, like it's going to be your 5?
Maybe. We don't know
Maybe.
yet. Rude said I might not be able to play this game on Sunday. I'll let you guys know, and I'll let Angus know. So there's a non-zero chance we are playing with a sub. But I think even with our 5, the way I predicted this, I think there's a chance that TS could win this. I think this is like a 60-40. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see the upset. The reason why I predicted DRX though is because I don't think we'll get upset in this game. I think is gonna pop off. When I did find out the schedule, I did DM Hage immediately. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to get cooked by you. Let's go.
At least you're honest about it, yeah. I think for me, at least, like, I was coming off the fact of, okay, you've got Plat and Longclaw. Is will pop off. You're there too. Whether or not Rude is there too, I don't think it's really going to matter. I think it's just overall you guys should have it. But then again, there's still that factor of TS could win this one. I knew you weren't lying about it, but I guess we had the receipt to pull up anyway. Okay, so then give us the TS then, Linus. Give us beyond what you think there.
I mean, pretty much just I think TS will win one of their 2 games. So this is the one that I went with. And I think DRX can level up faster than TS, if I'm being honest. Like I was saying, in their match against Silly, like I think there were definitely some holes, and I think there's some easy fixes that they could make, like TS. I just think perhaps, but I predicted TS, so actually that doesn't really help my point.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I guess.
So you're saying there's a
over
chance
and
that
it's a
TS
guarantee?
lose this game?
I just want to give encouragement to the DRX player here.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
I think there's a possibility that you can win it.
Okay.
No, but in all reality, I think TS, like, they literally play 40 scrims. They're like so locked in this next week, or these next few days. They're like scrimming like nonstop around the clock. They like lock in. They're playing as a unit and they just beat the crap out of DRX. Like, not even close.
We've played.
We played
2
Unrated.
200.
Oh, you
games.
No, you
Alright,
played
I
one
guess
premier
that's
match.
enough. Yeah,
No, you
TS
played one.
won,
You
yeah.
played one premier match. as
Okay,
well. You played
no,
one
no, no,
premier
no.
match.
Oh, okay.
No, this is just the unrateds that they played. This isn't involving any customs or comp game.
Yeah.
So
could
you're
have
thinking they're
played
gonna
a
do
lot
on
of
top
comp
of the
games.
two
We've
unrateds.
played 0 comp games.
Dang it!
And you still have, no, what it is really, the vote is just to not encourage GRX to win, it's encouraging you to win. Hey, you gotta do more. The team's gotta
yeah,
do
and-
more.
In all honesty, I think my points about the RX2 stand. Like, I think they could upgrade faster. But I knew everyone was going to pred DRX. I needed to get.
So it's to break the guarantee. So truthfully, this is a guarantee. It's just it doesn't.
No.
look like it,
It's
obviously.
not because I broke it. I think TS could upset
Right.
this. So
Fair.
that's why I put it in.
Okay.
I want the next
Top
one.
left, we all hop on auto counts every night. I believe that, Iggy. I believe that. Heike running off good vibes as Longclaw. Well, let's take it from them instead, and let's move on to the next one. Maybe we'll get a. I don't know. What are you saying about this being a possible guarantee? I mean,
I don't
maybe.
think so.
I don't know who's playing this next one.
It's Zirconians
Forgot.
and JDG, right?
Oh, it could be. Never mind.
Maybe.
Oh no, because Ethan. Frick.
Wait. Oh yeah. Wait. That is true.
Oh wait, hang on.
Surely,
Yeah, okay.
surely
I
he
remember my
doesn't pred
practice
against his
with
own team, right? Surely.
Okay, let's see.
Surely.
Let's see.
Reverse psychology, though.
Imagine.
Give me 1 second. I have to get rid of the DRX image that was.
Nobody's winning.
Oh yeah. Shit. Yeah, my bad about that one. My whole thing is, oh yeah, LeBron is in LeBron James. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he's the super sub, because he's LeBron. That was the whole idea. Yeah, that's definitely
Okay,
what it is,
I
yeah.
fucked.
LeBron,
I actually,
renowned team
I
team
actually
hopper.
fucked up the pred placement. I'm gonna point this out ahead of time. So I actually put Ethan's pred in the spot of Teklo, and Teklo's in the spot of Ethan, I think. But
So no matter what, Caleb is going to have a fraudulent pick there. Got it.
hold on, wait. I'm gonna.
But
do,
now it's
I'm
making
gonna
it sound
do-
like it's
hold
not a
on, I'm gonna
guarantee.
do
I
something
don't
for
know.
the sake of the argument. I just need you to give me something. So, give me a bit. Give me like a couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll cook it up. Yeah. So okay, well,
couple
Pi is saying
minutes.
this
Yeah, we gotta
is the
fill, we
match
gotta
of the
fill.
week, actually. Yeah, Pi is
Oh,
saying
yeah,
this
is
is
this
the
the match
match
of
of
the
the week, maybe. So
That's
I mean,
fair.
like it could be. It could be. I think it's reasonable. You've got
that's
ZIRC. I
good.
mean, who did bounce back against the Slobber Knocker? That was my team against the GRG. That arguably could have been weak, but I mean, you're still a reasonable team. Like you're still not like they're not bad. And then you've got JDG, which I mean, besides James, I mean, they're doing pretty well for themselves as well. So you've got two competent teams going at each other. Yeah, I would call that the match of the week compared to the rest of what we've got.
I think the only thing ZIRC has above JDG is that they practice a lot more. Like, I think JDG overall has a higher
just huge
floor
gaming.
than them. Yeah, they just have a higher floor than.
I mean, they
Is
are
there-
just dudes gaming, so it makes sense. That's the why
Like-
it's just like that.
I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, I predicted JDG to win like last week. So like for me, this feels like a easy 2-0. Like this is gonna be a slam dunk of a match
So you're
where
spoiling yours to hopefully disregard
I've
whatever
pinged you 9
shenanigans gonna
times,
happen.
Caleb, are you predding JDG to ZIRC?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
Oh no!
Alright,
So
I'm
do
on it.
do we have it ready yet, or still waiting? All right.
who do you
Big
think? I am the
reveal.
biggest ZIRC hater. Okay.
Wait,
wow,
what?
that's
Crazy.
great.
Oh
Who did
my
Ethan have? Who
God.
did Ethan have? Who did Ethan have?
Ethan had ZIRC probably.
Ethan was the only person who had ZIRC.
Oh, this doesn't even
So this
count.
is authentic. This is authentic guarantee.
No, this is authentic because you're not Ethan. You're Ethan.
Yeah, so get rid of the
True.
Ethan thing, and then we get the screenshot. Then we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the screenshot for it to be valid there.
No, that's a
Fuck you,
step.
man. Come on.
Anyways, I am down on ZIRC since their last game, and I think even after the game against a struggling DRG, I think JDG might I don't want to say have it in the bag, but I give him like a 70-30.
So a ball of 30, got it. Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I
ball
don't
is
have
law.
much to say on this. Yeah, I don't have much to say on this one because I genuinely think I don't think I've watched a single JDG game. I don't even think I've cast them or anything like that. So
I played against them for one map.
I think it'll
fair
be
enough.
a close game. I definitely think it's game of the week for sure. JDG's
can't doubt-
JDG's
can't
just the
doubt-
truth, and Silos is
Yeah.
the GOAT, and it just doesn't matter
I'm
what
just
the other teams
comparing
are
it.
up to.
I'm just comparing it to like because we played them, like if JDG does anything near to what they did against us and how much we struggled, like this should like I think JDG actually like counters how ZIRC plays, like with their like they push and pull a lot, and I think that's just like they're just gonna struggle. ZIRC is just gonna struggle and not be able to get a read because I think one of their main issues is just having lack of info, and I think JDG is just gonna punish them for that.
So then frame this in the way for me to be able to understand then how would you really compare that then? Like you look at the match that Koi played against ZIRC, how do you think like is JDG similar to Koi in this sense? Or do you think there's like a bit of like a difference there?
There's a
There's,
bit of a
like, how
difference
you would frame
because Koi's a bit more aggressive with not Koi. JDG's a bit more with aggressive. Like they like to do mid plays. They like to do fast pushes down a main sometimes, but they also know how to hold back sometimes, and they can really catch you off guard by like playing back a little bit more. Which that tempo change is just really strong in a tournament like this, and I don't know
Yeah.
like I just can't see, especially because like JDG are shooters. Like
yeah, that's
think like that's the problem. Like JDG, like even if you like beat them on the macro, if you don't beat them on the shooting, it doesn't matter.
yeah, no, for me, like my only notion with JDG as a whole is that James is actually LeBron. Like I didn't play anything with him up until like more recently, like weeks ago, and I'm just like, he is probably the person I've gotten tilted at shooting against the most. Frankly speaking, I mean, I'm shit at my shooting, but James actually pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, I don't want to play against this guy. I don't. So that's where my basis came from. But I mean, if that's the case, not even just for James and is still present in the rest of the team, yeah, I think it makes sense at least.
I think overall JDG is, I'd say, fairly good because I'm high on James. I'm also pretty high on Lucas. I feel like I don't know. For me, I feel like JDG are like the Lakers, and James and Lucas are Luka and LeBron, and they're just gonna cook.
Because I'm gonna be so honest, like I genuinely actually forget like all the 5 that are even on that team, but that's just me being stupid, really.
I think you also
Like,
don't
makes
have
sense.
this. You don't have the issue of like James carrying the team in the same way, where he is the
Yeah.
fragger. He is getting a lot of the kills. It's like he's not always in front of the team, like leading the team. Like it's a mix of like him getting in there first, or like him coming in behind the team and like helping clean up. And I think apart from him, the team plays really well together as well. So it's
Yeah.
not like they're relying on him to do well. He can have an off game, and the team will still do fine. Especially because
Yeah,
they play the double duelists as well a lot of the time. So and he's like
Mhm.
pretty much only on the Yoru, I think.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know if
sure,
I've seen him
because
Yeah, for the most
play
part.
another
I haven't
agent.
either, yeah.
Yeah.
He
I've
plays
always
Yeah.
Wraith
seen
So it's
sometimes.
like
Yeah.
okay.
He play-
Yeah. I know Silos was on the Rays. Yeah. So yeah, they usually have the double duelists.
Yeah,
As a
'cause-
person who played against James twice and had him on my team once, like it's it's a big factor having James, and I think his team actually plays really well off him. Like Linus was saying, like they either using util to help James and set him up really well, or they're just using util to set the whole rest of the team up, and it's just like it's really hard to push them off their line.
Yeah, I feel like even when I compare it to like, because I mean, like we've had 2 different players on Yoru really, but no matter what, even if they had like the same basic fundamental, I feel like James is just a very different Yoru player compared to no matter who we throw on Yoru. So I can kind of see how that makes sense, really. So
Also, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna hit a headshot. So it's like,
yeah,
what are you gonna
that's
do?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have one more pred, right? I honestly kind of forgot.
Yeah.
This is the 4th one, right? So me actually forgetting which one this is. I'm not gonna lie. I actually forget what series this is.
I did as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Go back,
Wing
what was it?
versus
Oh yeah,
Wing
Wing versus
versus
Made in
Wood.
Bronze. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wing versus
Oh, okay.
Bronze.
I don't remember what I
Yeah.
predded for this.
I
remember
remember
what I
now,
put this.
but
I remember. I know my own prediction.
I know mine too. I'm just gonna surely. Again, okay, fair enough. I'll go on a little bit of a tangent. I mean, yeah, they're the team that beat us, but also that was in week 1, and it was a little bit fraudulent. But I mean, totally not biased, by the way. But
I
I
haven't.
think we've leveled up so much since then that I feel like that win against us was a little like just like
Was
not,
it close?
I don't know.
I don't remember that game.
Ascent was close. It was more like we kind of choked on it really badly. The Lotus, they did kind of handle us on. But again, both the maps we played, they're not in the pool anymore. So I'm pretty sure they like Made in Bronze are Lotus merchants, but the problem is they don't have it anymore. And I think that was indicative of their last series, I think. But beyond that, it's just Ascent. We just choked. We should have won that one. Lotus, I mean, that makes sense why we lose it. So yeah. Okay, we're good
That's
now?
it.
All right. So Shirley? I don't know. Apparently, I thought so too. Why are you giving me? Never mind. No transition. Really? Really? Okay. You know what? I want to hear from you, Tekla. I want to hear what is the case for MIBR here then? Because I was just downplaying and like underlowing them. Like, what do you?
I think I have the dissenting opinion that I think MIBR slash. I just feel like they're gonna come up and win this one. I think, although Wing has some very good shooters, I think MIBR. I think specifically, I think JP is just gonna like he's gonna have like a weird vengeance for this game for some reason, and he's gonna cook.
I mean, if Iz is gonna win his series this week, then surely the rival JP, he's not gonna let that go down. JP is
Yeah.
JP when he is on it, he is him. That's what I can say for both of them, and it makes sense that they see themselves as rivals, and I kind of fuck with that heavy that they're rivals because I see them as being one and the same player in that sort of sense, 2 sides of the same coin. So I can see that. But I mean, beyond JP. Is it just the JP factor, or is there more to it?
I think there's more to it. I think overall, I don't. There's something about MIBR that I just kind of like. I don't know what it is. I think depending on the map, I will say this is a pick that I could very easily see Wing winning. I think depending on what maps go through, I think Wing are probably better on Pearl. And then I don't know. It just I don't know. We'll have to see. Truly, but this for me, this is a coin flip.
Fair enough.
Coins weighted, but a coin flip.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna kind of just switch this to Caleb really quickly. Is that your pick as well? Like you going with Wingman? Like it's not a.
I would have predicted
consistent?
Wingman.
Okay.
I think.
So then, yeah.
I honestly think Wingman's that like team that like if you beat Wingman, you can pretty much say, yeah, I'm in the upper tier of teams. And I don't think MIBR is in that level right now where they're in the top teams. So like to me, MIBR is like around that like 6th to 9th range right now. So like I just, to be fair, I haven't watched that much of them, but like from what I know of them, like their map pool isn't going to be that strong, and I think that's why they're going to struggle for the majority of this.
Are you in a similar boat to that then, Linus, or little bit different.
Yeah, I guess I haven't paid much attention to MIBR. I just haven't seen most. I saw their very first game, but like you were saying, there's a lot of factors when you're like just starting out this season. So I will say like I have seen the individuals look good. Like I think the individuals looked good in that first matchup that they played, but I think they've definitely struggled since then. Yeah, I think Wing just they have a plan and they have better shooters.
Yeah, because the only
Like
other
Caleb was saying,
perspective I
it's
really.
just I think they're just a better team, so it just makes
Yeah, because
sense.
really when I think of MIBR, I don't even necessarily think of the match where they beat us. Because again, like again, biases aside from me just throwing it out the window, it was a very different thing. Like it was a different patch, different map pool, and that sort of thing.
That's true.
I think more tuned to the Slobber Knocker that was the DRX game, and I feel like at least like Teklo can give a bit of more insight with that. Because I mean, you played that one, I casted it,
I
unfortunately, along with
played
Paige,
map
so it's like,
1.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I
you
played
did play
map
only one map.
1.
Yeah.
I don't know. Our team was kind of sort of like we we
Oh yeah, because
we
that
we
map
had a
was the
good
one you
feeling on
lost.
after
Actually,
map
yeah.
2, even though we lost. Like we took that loss. We weren't like at least my team didn't feel defeated, and we also did have a Tenyaku sub on bind.
Yeah.
But I think overall, MIBR I feel like I don't know, they're a middle of the pack team. I think like I said, I think Wing could easily win this. I'm betting on the under is what I'm doing.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I guess there is a chance for them to shoot up. I mean, they punch up against us, and we kind of trolled. So, I mean, if Wingman decide, hey, let's troll, they could win definitely. I do want to shout out Basil because if it's not JP who's on fire, I think it's really Basil. Kind of being able to do that. Like he's a big part of Made in Bronze here, and I think that his value like might get a bit understated sometimes, but I think like if they are going to punch up and win this, I'm really looking Basil to really at least lead the charge for them at least. So but yeah, I think yeah, no, that's all the predictions at least for this week. Still some interesting stuff to have nonetheless. I'm certainly going to be interested to see if, you know, I'm right in thinking that we can punch up and that, you know, the MIBR loss is a fluke, but I mean between all that, I don't know. Apples to oranges, I don't know. So I think with that, I mean, unless we want to throw out something goofy, I think we just got to go to the final segment of the week, which is not for Pi at all. He's trying so hard with this one. This is the Bood's Beautiful Bounty. At least that's what I saw thrown out. So yeah, Bood is the one giving the award out this week. Do we have a slide for that? I know we have a PNG. Ronnie made us a PNG for Bood's award. I just don't know if we have that to show right now. Okay. I guess but while we're waiting for that then, I do want to give some honorable mentions because we do know who we're giving this to pretty handedly, but I do want to shout out a couple people at least for honorable mentions. First honorable mention, Charlotte casted the first Sunday match this week. Just having Charlotte be here, an actual tier 2 caster by the way, giving us a little bit more of an edge in production. Just shout out, thanks for casting that game. That was really cool of you. Glad to have you on. And then speaking of production, I actually want to throw the nomination out, or at least honorable mention to our producers. We've got H, who's been doing the main bulk of it, but then you've got Snowfall, and then Linus, who has been doing a pretty good amount. Like, Linus is the one who isn't actually playing any of these games, but has been taking to producing pretty well, and it's been cool. So I just want to give a shout out that if we didn't have them on, we wouldn't exactly have a show to put on every day of the weekend, pretty much. So, but that's not who we're giving it to this week. I think we decided pretty handedly that we're giving this one to Alex for yeah, have fun pulling off the Munchkin. You got drafted, man. Korean military service moment. We appreciate having you in here. It's gonna suck not having you here, obviously. Your team will do fine probably without you. I mean, again, you can talk more about this, Caleb, but yeah, shout out to Alex for this one, man.
Yeah, it was actually pretty wild. Alex, like, an hour or so before the game, just like came up to us and was like, "Yeah, guys, I can't play. I'm going to the Navy, I think he said. And we were like, it was kind of like a heart drop for like me, because like Alex is a great guy. He was great to play with. He's a good vibes person. And like it was really sad to see. Like he said he would be watching as much as he could. Probably not that much because military, obviously. But like it's a big part of our team, like I said earlier, that's leaving, and it's going to be hard to replace them, even though we're gonna somewhat have to try.
Yeah. I mean, you eventually, like, you have an idea on who you want to bring in, and a lot of people can kind of think as to who could come in, but frankly speaking, nobody knows who it is. Nobody knows who it is. You're bringing in a complete wild card, so I'm curious to see ultimately who's going to be replacing Alex, but overall, it does kind of suck to see that.
Wait,
Yeah, you got drafted, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, wait, H, would it be like, can we just tell you and Angus and then just like the person last day, just like an hour before? Just no.
No, introduce them WWE style, pretty much. Just get Golden Boy on the mic to be like introducing the new player for EMEA, and then just, you know, you guys steamroll the rest of the season. You guys win and dedicate the win to Alex, being like, hey, sucks that you got drafted. Anyway, your replacement did perfectly well in service to us. We were going to win with or without. Yeah, LeBron. No, it's not going to be James. No, you can't exactly have two people or two teams, one person. So,
if we could do James, we would have already signed him. Trust me.
Yeah.
We would have bought him out already.
Fair enough.
You can let me
I want to give the floor at least to Linus and Tekla if you had any if you had any nominations. Otherwise, like, we give it pretty handily to Alex. Is there anybody you want to shout out honorably?
I have a nomination of T1 and Faker for making it to their 4th back-to-back World Finals.
On a Valorant podcast. Yeah. The disrespect.
Valorant podcast, baby. Shout out to League of Legends. I mean, okay, wait, what date is that game happening on? Is that the Saturday
Okay,
or
okay.
Sunday?
On West Coast, it's Saturday at 11 p.m. For East Coast, for you East Coast peoples, it's Sunday at 2 a.m. I think.
Yeah.
It's in Shanghai, right? Or am I stupid? Or is it in China or?
No, it's in Chengdu. Finals is in Chengdu.
Oh, Chengdu. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, shut up, Faker. Then I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about League. I just know that apparently he's dedicating the win to Chovy if they win or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well no, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man.
But yeah.
Any honorable mentions for you, Linus, or?
No.
Pretty handed.
No.
Well, to be fair, I did nominate you, so you can glaze yourself if you wanted, but you know that's
there you
fine.
go.
Humble King.
No.
Okay.
No. I guess I would. I would thank Hadrian Stofolo. Very helpful in helping
Bringing
me
up
get
the
Said it
team.
last
with the
week already,
production.
so.
Yeah.
What's that?
I've been shouting at me even though I tried to help too. That's
Oh,
rage.
I also will take this moment to apologize for some of the audio for production, which H kindly pointed out. But yeah, some funny
Yeah,
things.
I
going
think
on.
you
Linus
said
the one
that.
trying
I
to
think
we're
you
keep
could
getting
music.
like
fixed. So.
dubstep, like EDM, just blast it.
Well, that's pretty much what it was. That's pretty much what it was.
I mean, it made the boost clip actually kind of funny at the end of it, where it's like, oh, you blast some music, where it's like, what just happened? This is kind of weird.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It was funny though. It
Hey,
makes
at
me a
least
little
we can
sad,
both-
but we'll fix it.
Yeah, we can do it together and
forward.
having really scuffed match winning clips because my screaming with the straight ace. I just hate the gain, but it's like, I mean, besides that, it's great. But it's
I
like,
still think that was perfect. Like I think it was good for the clip. I think it's
Fair
a good
enough.
clip.
Yeah. Before we sign off, I just want to give one final notice again. I said this on the last broadcast, but eventually, Wilkinson and the gang on the actual Plat Chat podcast should hopefully eventually watch some of the clips from the tournament or just see, you know, what's going on in season 2 just because, hey, they don't have content. And we are the content. So if you want to be content, clip your stuff. Clip anything that you want to give them, like in terms of like, oh, you had a pop-off moment, a silly moment, anything like that. Please submit it in the we have a thread in the members Discord. You've definitely seen it, but please share your clips so they have something to review. Especially since like we have a bit, but we could definitely use a lot more.
Make a
so
top.
at
We
least
have
be
to make a
conscious
top
this
10
week.
list. Make a top 10
A
list
top
so
10
far.
Yeah, and, well, no. I think at the end of the season, or at least at the end of the regular season, we should definitely look at clips. Just look back, because it'll be like months ago at that point. So it's like, yes, then I'll watch the straight ace again and be like, oh wow, this really was #1 the entire time. I was right about that. Oh, and
Misclick.
that's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, submit your clips. Yeah. If you're also going to Red Bull Homeground, I know some people are going to be trying to glaze the members tourney again, but if anything, I mean, hey, if you want to, tell them to care about the members tourney again, you're a voice. We appreciate your voice no matter what. So yeah, that's the only things I'm really going to indoctrinate from you guys. Anything else you guys want to finish off with, or any words of wisdom? Anything to
T1
share?
fighting.
T1 fighting. I guess I don't know. I mean,
Oh wait,
Fakers
someone
to go.
someone has to ask what team has the best name. Like I think they do like live in person questions. Someone has to ask like what team has the best
Yeah.
name like in the members tourney.
No, they will definitely do that because I mean, Tanyaku used his at the Toronto one to bring up the names
They're
of
100%
the teams and just in
gonna
general.
say fucking Tech Pause Gaming. The EMEA.
Yeah, exactly. Because we do
Oh,
have
yes,
the best
number
name.
one team is the
Yeah,
one.
we have to add
crazy.
the EMEA part. EMEA
Yeah.
Tech Pause Esports. We have the best name. Shout
also
out Babble.
pressure them into doing the season 1 show match because they're supposed to play against You Shot You Die, right? So when's that happening, huh? I don't know. Apparently that's supposed to
That's not a
happen.
day.
But
Set that up.
surely, but yeah. All right, enough yapping, enough stalling. That's another week of Bronze Babble. Who knows if we'll be back next week or if we'll do another break. I think it's been a lot of fun. Quote unquote Ethan, Caleb, Teklo, Linus, thanks for coming on this week. Thanks for producing once again, H, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the coming week's matches.
Okay.
Until next time.